So welcome to this Inwards and Upwards show. We're going to be talking about Ki Gong tonight. Ki Gong is something that I fell into about 15 years ago, I think. It was when I was very, very much younger. I had an out-of-body experience when I was a professional musician. And I've always been looking to try and find ways to find a way back to that position of actually feeling what it's like to be a sort of into your consciousness. And when we were looking for sorry about that. When I was looking for more sort of depth into this, I came across Body and Brain at the Mind, Body and Spirit show in Earl's Court, I think it was, up in London. And Ki Gong really has changed everything for me. It's absolutely amazing. And what I felt about it was that it was a connection between me and my energy. And that's really the most important thing that I feel that we all need to do right now. I'm seeing everywhere that everybody's writing about this. Everybody's connecting to their energy, consciousness is rising, and all this wonderful stuff is happening. And Ki Gong, I feel yoga, Tai Chi, when it's taught properly, is actually really starting to break down a lot of these barriers that we have with ourselves. So I think that's so important. So Ki means energy. Ki means energy. Energy is life force energy. And it's actually what holds everything together. But if you think about energy, energy is everywhere. Everything is energy. But what is the integrity of that energy? And that's what Ki Gong means. Gong means utilizing well, or actually mastering. So it's the integrity of the energy that you have inside of your vehicle, your body, your vessel, is the most important thing that you can actually cherish in this life, I feel, because that's unique to you, 100% unique to you. It makes you who you are. It makes you be the human being that you are. And what happens in our life, if we've been distracted with so many different things in this meme that we live in today, it keeps changing and moving. But if you look at the bigger cycles, it's always the same. Different players come in, different players run the cycles, but it's the same thing. As I remember when going to one of the Hare Krishna meetings that we used to go to, and I was talking about current affairs, and the guy said, well, it's just the same as 5 years ago. And then he says the same as another 5 years ago. It's just the same cycles going around. And you're watching this to learn from it. So it's what our ancestors called the Maya. So it's connecting with ourselves. So I'll go through the class, what we go through the class, because I think it's important, because Sylvia brought, I think it was Sylvia, was it, who brought up body tapping. And why is body tapping so important? And I remember when I first started body tapping, I hated it. I put my hand up and go, oh no, not this again. We've got to do this beginning of every class. Yeah, oh God, here we go. But what it does is phenomenal changes inside of your body. If you think about the integrity of your body and how it's made up of obviously DNA, and part of that DNA is mitochondria. So when you're starting to tap the body, you're starting to stimulate your mitochondria. So what you're doing is you're actually bringing new energy into the body. You're bringing new energy because it stimulates the body. Even that's tingling now, because I tapped it a few times, starting to tingle. So I'm bringing new energy into the body, which is getting rid of the old energy. So any of you who are on the dream method, you're starting to, you understand that I feel a lot more deeper now, because you're getting rid of that old energy and bringing that new energy in. Ki Gong classes will do it, but you need to really get that intention really strongly inside of you, which I think is the most important thing. So tapping the body, what does it do? It fools your amygdala. Your amygdala actually gets caught in this fight or flight stress state, and it will fool it into saying, actually, everything's okay. I'm really focusing on my body now. I'm in the present. I'm in the moment. I can deal with this. There's no problems here whatsoever. I'm tapping my body. I feel good. So it's mindfulness in motion. It's actually your mindfulness coming into your body. It strengthens your bones. I've seen people now who've been training with me in the elderly centers for goodness knows how many years. We had a 2-year break, obviously, because of the lockdown. But they're getting stronger. Their bodies are getting stronger. Even people with fibromyalgia, I'm seeing improvements in their body. I'm seeing improvements in their movement and their strength. And one lady who had a stroke, she's in a wheelchair most of the time. She said she nearly fell over once, but she didn't fall over because of the strength in her body. And it's mainly to do with tapping her legs, because she can't move her legs properly. So when she got up, she had more strength in her legs than she had before she started the tapping. So just tapping the body, it stimulates your muscles and strengthens your body without having to do any cardiovascular or heavy motion. So body tapping really helps with that. Also, I think it's Peter Levine who's just coming up with trauma management. The first thing these people do when they go into trauma management is all over body tapping. This is coming in a big way, and you'll see this all over the place very soon. I bet you, because people are suddenly realizing we're not treating the body the way that we should do. So body tapping is going to help you get through, strengthen your body. It lowers your blood pressure. This is all sort of scientifically proven. It helps to improve your cardiovascular state because you're actually physically tapping around your whole body. It opens up all your meridian lines. As we know, the meridian lines are the energy lines of your body. So you want your energy lines to be opened. The best way to do it is to tap and then stretch. So that's why we tap at the very beginning of the class. It's also really good just to focus yourself. If you can really not think about why you're tapping your body. That's why we count. So when I say at the beginning of the tapping sessions, I say count out loud or count out in your mind. And then you stop thinking about what you're doing. Because otherwise you'd be like me at the beginning. Oh no, not this thing. Not down the arm again. Oh my goodness me. But it's important to try and clear the mind. And that's why we count. To me, at first, it felt very childish and childlike, the practice, because it feels like you're kind of mucking about. But actually, there's really good science behind it, because you're focusing the mind on the body, tapping down each meridian and your thumb. So you're getting your lung meridian and also your large intestine, your heart, you're stimulating your heart meridian, coming up the heart meridian, coming down the bladder, and all the meridians get stimulated, which is why you start to feel tingly at the end of your tapping sessions. And then I open up the 3 Dan Johns after the tapping session, which is to open up the energy centers. So we start to build on the chakra system opening up. And then we go into the stretching out the meridians. The stretching out the meridians is also stretching out your body. So what does that do to you? Why was that helpful to you? If you become more flexible in your veins, in your arteries, it means your heart doesn't have to work so hard to pump the blood around your body because you're more flexible. So that's why we need to be in motion. If you think about the nature of our reality, everything is moving. Everything is moving, which is why a lot of the beginnings of people teaching meditation who didn't know what they're talking about, saying you've got to still the mind. The mind never stills. It's always moving. It's always continually moving. It's to focus the mind, always focusing the mind on something. So when you're focusing your mind on your meridians, you go, oh, I could do with a bit of work here. I need to push that a little bit. And you'll keep doing it, which is why I think it's important to give yourself goals, like to do sleeping tiger for 10 minutes rather than 5 minutes, or to do a stretching session for 10 minutes rather than 5 minutes. So you're building up on your body, because your body will start to produce more energy, and that will be new energy, getting away from all the emotional baggage and all the emotional garbage that we've all got stuck in our bodies. That's the most important thing to me, is to get rid of that and get the new energy in the body. So that's why we stretch out the meridians virtually at the beginning of the class. And just before that, we do circulation movements. So circulation movements is to get the heart pumping, get the heart moving, get the key energies going around your body with the use of the heart. So you start to get a little bit out of breath, but not very much. You don't have to push it too hard, but it helps to get the energy flowing through the body. Then we do the joint opening exercises. And I think all of you who've trained with me, when you open one wrist and you go to the other wrist, you could see or feel the lightness in the one hand to the other. And that's it. It's so important to open the joints up, because everything is energy and everything has passageways like the meridians and the acupressure points. And when they get stagnant because we're sitting down or sitting in the same position for too long, they build up negative, dead energy. And we need to clear that out. And that's why we open the joints up. And you've got to keep opening them all the time, because it's like, we're not like cars. Cars, if you put a car into a garage, you can sit there for 30 years. If you cover it up nicely, you can bring it back out. You probably need to charge the battery up, but there it goes, off it goes. Unless you're a yogi, you wouldn't be able to do that. If you would just lie in the same place for 30 years, you'd probably die. But unless you're a yogi, as I say, unless you've got complete control of your body. And I've seen yogis been buried under the earth for 30 days, then just be dug up again. They just wipe themselves off and walk off back into the village. They can do that. We haven't got that power yet. We haven't got that understanding of how to slow our systems down. But that's why we need to open the joints. And then we move on to usually a flow routine or some sort of exercise. Maybe I think we did the swimming dragon on Sunday. We do some sort of exercise which is specific to a certain area. So that was the back. We were looking at the back last Ki Gong class, which is all about your beginnings of your nervous system. So it's the most important part because it's where your chakra system sits as well, your energy system sits. And each chakra has a clump of nerves in that area, and it has obviously energy. And if you get really, really good with the Jigam, which we're going to do a Jigam meditation in a minute, you can feel the chakras as your hand comes up. You can actually start to feel the chakras in your body. And when you do that, that's a real game changer because you realize this physical body is really just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle. There's so much more to you. You're so much more complex than you actually start to realize. And when you get that as a human being, it really is a paradigm changer, which is why I'm so passionate about this, because I want more human beings to get this. Because once we get this, we start to create a more cohesive energy across the planet. It doesn't have to be many people, but it just needs to be the people who are raising their consciousness to help change this mess that we're in at the moment as humanity. So stretching out the meridians is important, opening the joints, then doing the exercise. Then we do a Ki Gong routine, and that's to practice your flair. So when we do a Ki Gong routine, most of them have got action, and calm. Calm is not very much in the Ki Gong process. But when you do those Ki Gong classes and you've got the action, you move quickly. So you're pushing the energy quickly. Calm action is mainly all the way through the process of moving your body. And you're mindfully moving the body. So you're transferring your weight mindfully rather than throwing your weight around or throwing your arms around unless you're making a quick or an action movement. So you're mindfully moving yourself. So you're completely getting absorbed with the movements of your body. That is the practice of it. That is where where the magic comes in, is focusing your mind on your body, which is, I keep saying all the way through the classes, keep focusing your mind on your body, keep softening your body with your mind. Because once you start to soften your body with your mind, your energy starts to flow really well. And you start to feel, yeah, I feel really good. And then when you do your Jigam meditation, you start to feel the electromagnetic energy being transferred across your hands. You feel that tingling. You can feel a magnetic feeling. You can even feel like you can't get your hands in. I feel it down. Can't get your hands in any further because you've got that magnetic frequency in between your palms. And that's where the magic happens also for me. When I see people in classes and they get that for the first time, their faces change forever because they realize we are energy. We're not just this physical body. And that's what I find beautiful about Ki Gong classes, because a lot of it is a lot of hard work for very little reward. But that, to me, is amazing. And for another human being to get that, to start to realize that they are an energy body as well as a physical body, to me, that's everything. That makes me feel absolutely beautiful, because I'm thinking, you get it as well now. So you're part of the team who's raising the consciousness of the planet. Because it's more than Ki Gong. We're talking about consciousness here. We're talking about energy. We're talking about you being the best human being you possibly can. So we do the Jigam meditation, then we do the lying down. So breathing, deep breathing, warrior breathing, box breathing, Danjon breathing. All of that is so important because that's where your spirituality comes from. I love that expression. Your breath is your gateway to your consciousness. It's your body who experiences your consciousness, or your consciousness experiences your body. It's a two-way thing. So you can really expand your consciousness by getting to know your body more, getting to know it much better. So when you eat something, you realize what that food is doing to you. When you drink water, You know whether it's good or bad water, but not being so precious or too clean that you can't drink bad water, because that I've done that before. I got myself to such a pure state that when I went out and had a bottle of water, it almost made me sick. And I realized you have to have a balance there, a real balance. But you get to that point where you realize that your food is doing you good. The water or the drink that you're drinking is doing you good. Your exercise is doing you good. Everything is moving you into a better position. You're becoming a better version of yourself each time you're moving forward. And I think that's really, really important to have that goal inside of you. So lying there, doing your breathing. Why do we breathe deeply? Because if you think about animals, when they walk around on four legs, they're moving their gut all the time. It's always stationary. And the reason we breathe deeply is that's our way of moving our gut. And now even children have got shallow breath and they're not moving their guts. And the problems with gut now, IBS, all sorts of problems, because people are not breathing properly. I remember sitting on a train and I was sitting there, the train was just about to move off. And this young boy came and sat next to me. He was walking quite quickly, I must admit, but he wasn't running. And he sat next to me, he had about 12 breaths to my one breath. And I was shocked because he was breathing so shallowly. He wasn't out of breath, but he was breathing so shallowly. I thought, oh my goodness me. But I was sitting there doing deep breathing. I breathe about 2 breaths per minute. I can get down to that level. That's how serious this is with people breathing in a shallow manner. They're not stimulating their gut. They're not stimulating their enteric nervous system. And on the Dream Method, there is obviously courses where I'm talking about the enteric nervous system and how important that is, because if that goes down and it stops working properly, then you're dead. You can't be revived. It's one of the most important elements of the body. And because of the neurons in there, to keep that healthy, it's continually bringing up information into the brain through your vagus nerve. And if that information isn't good down there, it keeps telling the brain, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, do something about it. And if you're not listening to your body, you're going to be going, why am I feeling so bad? I don't know why I'm feeling so bad, because you're not listening to your body. And that's why it's so important to keep stressing about deep breathing. And that's why we do the deep breathing, to stimulate our enteric nervous system. And you have your dopamine and serotonin and hormones like that being stimulated in that area. And I don't do enough of it actually, but that's why we do the intestine exercises as well, to stimulate that area, to make you feel it's good down here. Then it'll tell your brain, this is good, this is okay. And then all the other garbage that we have to put up with, it doesn't feel so heavy or dark, but it is not good. I mean, we here in this house, we're going through some terrible stuff at the moment, but to me, it can be sorted. It feels like it can be sorted. It is very bad, but it's going to be sorted one way or the other. It will be sorted in a peaceful manner. But if your gut, if you keep it healthy and happy, it will tell your brain you're healthy and happy. It's your mind-body connection will be stronger for that. So the breathing, that's why we do the breathing. And the sleeping tiger is when you hold a position, it's called Ki Gong. Ki Gong. When you hold a position, it really does irritate your muscles. And that's why your body starts to shake, because you're getting rid of that old energy. But what happens is the lactic acid builds up, because when you move, you're flicking it out straight away. But when you hold that position, it builds up all the acids in your muscles, and until you release it. And when you release it, actually might not be straight away, but your body will start to work harder to repair the muscles. So actually it's a lot quicker way of getting stronger. That's why we call it an energy accumulation exercise. So you're accumulating energy into the body. Dan John, sleeping tiger, I used to think was a South Korean torture technique, but it's like it's tough and it's hard, but it's good. And when when we did Shimsung, we did 20 minutes sleeping tiger position. That was pretty life-changing for me, because I'm thinking, well, I could do it, but I felt like I nearly died. So nobody has actually died doing sleeping tiger. You can actually do it. You just got to keep focusing your mind on it and not give up, because it's a really fantastic measure to tell you whether you are weak in the mind or not, because you give up. If you can keep going through that and push through that sleeping tiger, that really tells you that you've got something strong going on there. And then the last exercise is the energy circulation exercise. And that's when I kind of hit a samadhi type feeling meditation. It just feels like so blissful. It's beautiful. But you just got the energy now circulating around your body, and you can feel it circulating around your body. You've worked out all the tension, all the stress, all the anxiety, all the old trauma, and you're sitting there in your perfect state. And that's when you focus on your circulating energy. And it's a beautiful place. And then you get up and do the warm down exercises and the centering. And that's why I think Qigong is so powerful, because it's just an art form. It's like any other art form. You could do yoga or Tai Chi, but I think Qigong incorporates everything. And they're fun classes. I think they're fun classes because they're so varied all the time. And that's why I love the way that the Koreans taught it to us. And then that's why I like the way that it's taught. I love the way it is taught, the way that I do it, because I was taught to teach it like that. So Qigong is really, to me, a game changer when it comes to learning about your life, because you can do it at any point. You could be in the kitchen and you could making a cup of tea, and you could just start to clear. And there's many people who've spoken to me. They say, well, yeah, I'll do that now. When I'm making a cup of tea, I'll just clearing, just breathing in and breathing out, synchronizing your body with your breath again. And it's really as simple as that, but it's really doing it regularly to make you feel that you are connected with your body rather than being disconnected, because you have so many distractions like the television, the radio, the bad news that keeps flooding us, all the stuff that's saying they're trying to make us feel that we're all atheists now. We live on an atheistic planet where there's nothing more than the physical body. And to me, it's all insanity, because there's so much more to us and our reality than just the physical body. It goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And what I love about Qigong mainly is that it's a big stepping stone into your spirituality. As in the Vedas, they talk about there's 7 steps to heaven, but in the first 5, you're talking about the material body, which is you, they call it the gross material body. Then you have your energetic body, which is the one above that, which is what we're really connecting with Qigong. So you're really making a step up with your spirituality. Then you're going into the astral level, which is where a lot of people are talking about psychics and mediums and things like that, which is all really cool stuff. But that's the astral level. It's not really the heights of spirituality. Then you have the dualistic level above that, which is where Qigong really came from, which is the yin and the yang. It's the 2 elements of the body, the male and the female, which we all have that male and female energy inside of us. And then you have the causal level, which is no male, female. It's just what it is. It's pure consciousness. And it goes up even higher than that to the celestial realms. And that's what I love about Qigong, because you're starting to go into that energetic level, which you can connect to the higher levels of consciousness. And in the last few years, since I've been doing more and more of this and doing it all full time, my goodness me, my consciousness has changed completely to where I am now. And I still feel like I know nothing. I still feel like I know nothing. It's still a learning curve that keeps coming and coming and coming, waves and waves and waves. You get more troubles coming in. You think, I've got to deal with this now. I've got to deal with that. And then you think, okay, I'll deal with it. And you just roll over it. Like we were talking about a couple of group calls ago with the turmoil of the waves, and you just sit on top of the waves and you can go across the top of it. And yeah, it will drag you down, give you a bit of a nasty shake, but then you can get back up on the wave again very quickly. And that's what we are as human beings. We're very resilient, very strong, very powerful. And actually, when we talk about the chariot and we're just the observer consciousness, nothing can hurt us. And that's what the Qigong classes can get you to there, can get you there eventually. But going through the dream method, I think you go there, you got like a stepping stone a lot quicker to actually feel that, because I'm trying to get you to do what I got in many years in a very short space of time. So I get lots of emails, oh, this is too much, I can't do it, which is fine, because I get that. And I said, don't worry, don't panic. You just take your time. Take your time, because this is your journey. It's not my journey. I'm just a guide. It's your journey. So that's what I think Qigong is to me, and why I've learned it, and why I'm so passionate about teaching it, because I feel that once we all start to master the energies of our body, then we'll start to master the energies of each other. We'll start to help each other with our our starring roles. Because I said this last week, last group call, is that we're all the stars of our own movie. We're the stars. But if you don't treat your supporting actors or actresses in a decent way, you'll be a star on your own. You'll be doing a solo, a monologue. You'll be on your own. But if you're treating everybody with respect, treating everybody with the grace and humility that you should be doing it with, you'll have so many supporting actors and actresses in your starring role. You'll love it. You'll start to love your life, which is what I feel we all should be doing. So it attracts like. So if you're holding that higher vibration as the star of your show, like attracts like, and people come to you. You don't have to make any effort. They'll come to you. So that's really important. Okay, we're going to do a Jigam exercise now. So what we'll do is just start rubbing our palms together. So start to focus on your body. And we're going to do it from the heart this time. So try and straighten your back. Imagine a straight line coming down from the top of your head, down, right in the middle of the top of the head, straight down through to your tailbone. So imagine that golden line coming down the top of your head. Keep warming the palms up. And then from the heart, from the front of the heart, imagine a line coming in through the front of the heart, through your back. So it's crossing in the middle of your heart. And then tap your fingertips together. Tap your fingertips together. Start to get the vibration in your fingers. Really feel the ends of your fingers, and then twisting your wrists like unscrewing light bulbs. Focus on your hands. Maybe straight away you'll feel energy starting to accumulate around your hands. Might be a light, wispy, almost summer breeze type feeling around your hands as you start to wake up to the energy around your body. So start to slow your breathing down a little bit, and then just shake your fingertips out as if you're shaking water droplets off your fingers. Start to slow your breathing down. Remember that center point in the middle of your chest where your heart is. Imagine those two golden lines crossing in the middle of your chest. And then bring your hands down onto your lap. And then focus on the tingling on your palms. Really focus on the tingling. And now imagine your hands emptying out, becoming lighter and softer. And then your arms now emptying out, all this heavy energy coming out through your fingertips. And really focus on the tingling on the palms and bring the hands just a little bit up off the lap. Really focus on your palms and the tingling. Imagine them becoming very light. And without using your muscles, try not to use your muscles as if you're using your mind. So mind over matter, to bring your hands up to about head height. Just imagine, keep imagining it. As you breathe out, just slowly coming back down. So long, slow, deep breath in as you come back up. Just keep softening your body with your mind. And we'll do it one more time. So breathing in. And breathing out. So bring your hands now in front of your heart, palms facing towards your heart to start off with. And bring your awareness to that cross in the middle of the heart, right in the middle of your chest, where the two golden lines meet. So connect with your heart energy. And this takes practice, but we're going to try and do this anyway, is to use your mind to pull the heart energy in to that cross. Pull it in, pull that energy in. You might feel an emptiness starting to happen between your hands and your chest, but keep pulling that energy in with your mind. Pull it into the cross in the heart. You may start to feel a compact feeling in your chest. And take a long, slow, deep breath in. Now, as you breathe out, let that energy go. Push it out as you bring your hands out, palms facing each other. Let the energy go now. Just let it flow out with your mind. Push it out. That compressed feeling in your chest might start to release. And then put your palms facing each other. Focus on the tingling on your palms and the space in between your palms. If you're visual, see if you can see a green circle in your mind's eye. If you're not, don't worry. If you are visual, just imagine it. So you're focusing on your palms, the tingling on your palms, the space in between your palms, and the green circle in your mind's eye. And just start making little circles with your hands. So if you feel that pulling, pushing, magnetic feeling, if you don't feel anything, don't worry. Just keep focusing on the palms and the space. And then gently stopping as you breathe in, just opening up your palms. And as you breathe out, slowly bring your palms back together. If you don't feel anything, keep your palms a bit closer. If you do feel a pulling, a pushing, a magnetic feeling, opening up your palms a little bit more. Really focus on that space and the tingling. You may feel a breezy feeling or wiggly feeling on your hands, tingling, magnetic feeling. You may feel nothing. Just keep focusing on the space between the palms and the palms now. And just notice if any colors come into your mind's eye. And then bring your hands all the way out to the sides. And then slowly, as if your hands are almost being moved by themselves, come in the big semicircle towards the heart. Almost like the heart energy is pulling in your hands. If you do connect with it, it's a very unusual feeling at first. We'll do that 2 more times. So bring your hands out. And almost like that cord is pulling the center of your hands in towards your heart. Everything is relaxed now in your body. Everything's completely soft. almost like you're not using your muscles at all. It's just your energy moving your body. We'll do it one more time. So breathing in as the hands come out, and then breathing out. And then face your palms again, facing each other. And go back into the Ki Gong meditation. See if you can feel that energy ball growing now in between your palms. So this is your heart area, the biggest electromagnetic frequency area of your body. And it has been scientifically proven to increase in size when we focus on love and gratitude. So we'll give ourselves a powerful affirmation of I am love, I am empathy, I am compassion, I am love, I am empathy, I am compassion. We are living in a very troubled time in human history, and we can actually put more love into the world as human beings. Give yourself the powerful affirmation of I am love, I am empathy, I am compassion. And one last time, bring your hands out to the sides. And a little semicircle coming in as if your hands are being dragged in by the energy of the heart. Almost like you're not using your muscles at all. And place your hands on your heart. See if you can feel your heart beating. And then show great gratitude towards your heart for keeping you alive all this time. Has neurons of its own, so it has its own intelligence system. And more information goes up from the heart up to the brain than the brain down to the heart. So again, your emotions are important. Let your emotions be your guide. You want good emotions without chasing them. And then down to your gut, your lower danjian. Again, it has its own nervous neurons and nervous system, which sends more information up to the brain. It's your power, your passion, your creativity comes from this area. So be grateful for your lower danjian and your enteric nervous system, keeping you alive all this time. And then placing your hands on your lap. And then just focus on one thing that happened this week that you feel you could have done better. You could have achieved something a bit better. You could have treated someone a bit better. You could have put a bit more diligence into your action. Just focus on one thing. And let's forgive ourselves for that action by just repeating the mantra, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. One more time to yourself, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And take a nice, long, slow, deep breath into your lower abdomen. Fill up your chest. And then we'll take the heat out of the head by leaning forward, breathing out through our teeth. Breathing in, coming back up. And breathing out. Breathing in, coming back up. And breathing out. Slowly returning. And then rubbing your palms together. Get some heat into your hands. And the best way of waking up the body is clapping your hands. Lots of acupressure points in your hands. It helps to wake the body up. So clap your hands 10 times. Rubbing your palms. And then energetically sweeping over your face. And then just take a few deep breaths for yourself. Just see how you feel now. Okay, is everybody back with the land of the living? How do you feel? Anybody want to share anything? Good morning, Natalia.
Yes, it's a good feeling, absolutely. Good morning.
You look like you just woken up.
Because I feel like that. I feel so much relaxed as after a long sleep.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Anybody want to share anything?
Yes, when I was putting my hands out when we were in the middle of that, it's almost like I couldn't push it out, which is unusual. It's usually you're doing that, aren't you? You can feel that. And I had all this energy on the outside at the top of my hands, and it was really, really heavy. Not heavy, but strong. I don't know what that's about. I've not had that sensation before.
Ah, that's good. Well, what it is, you get like resistance. Yeah, your body's always changing, and sometimes the energy is really heavy, sometimes it's really light. There's no right or wrong answer.
No,
but it's when you put, like, sometimes when I'm pulling apart, it feels like you got elasticity there, and you can't pull them apart, and then you try and bring them back together, and you can't bring them back in. That's how light. I could
do that, but I couldn't go out. It was really solid. Then suddenly it went. So that was a funny energy hanging around somewhere.
Yes, there's lots of funny energies that hang around us. Yeah. Did you get any colours? You're very colourful usually, aren't you?
Yes, I just got a sort of mixture, really. Nothing in particular.
That's very good. Very good. Anybody else feel anything?
I had this very strange feeling. I've never had this before either. I was sitting back with my back on the chair, and when we visualized the cross, the golden cross in through our heart, and we brought our hands in, I had the sudden feeling that I wasn't there. You know, I could feel my back against the chair, but it's like my flesh here just disappeared. And then I felt it, but I had to look down to make sure I was still there. It's very strange. I've never had anything like that before either. That was really worrying. Well, it was nice. It was nice as well, because I'd lost, you know, I was completely wrapped up in the heart feeling, which was lovely.
Well, that's like a Rosicrucian meditation technique where you actually shrink the energy of your heart, and then you allow it to expand out. We did it, I think, in class the other week with the third eye chakra, and it's very powerful. It's very powerful the way it comes in, and you do tend to get feelings that you don't normally get, or you'll go deeper into something that you don't normally get feelings from. So all of this stuff is, you're moving towards what we should be as human beings, which is, to me, is absolutely phenomenal. But it's getting other people to feel it as well is phenomenal. And I think thanks for sharing. That's great. Anybody else? Alison, have you ever done anything like that before?
Yes, I have. I have played around with little bits before. I think for me, having something to be kind of concentrating on, So the fact that there was, little instructions all the way, I think it just really, it helps you just stop all the other noise and just give you something to be doing. And obviously that's where the power is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really nice to just have that sort of something to be doing, keeping my mind occupied while I was focusing on what you're asking me to do. And it meant that all the other chitter chatter was slower.
Good.
It was
Good.
nice. Mm.
Fantastic. Yeah, so called Jigam. We call it Jigam in our practice, which is energy meditation. I think it's very powerful to do that regularly. You start to feel the energy around your body. So amazing. Did you feel any energy or anything like that? Did you feel, you do feel it? Yeah. Brilliant. Anybody else got anything to share?
Still feel like pins and ants, I call it, like around from the top of my head till the toes, honestly. It was like a lot of little ants, just like, obviously it's energy, but it's just telling me something. But I looked like I was asleep for that reason, because I went to the place as I think we all went, like disconnect and be empty. And I woke up suddenly and just love it.
Yeah.
I don't like usually to wake up, but it just that to observe how you feel before and after, that difference, that transition is amazing every time. Thank you.
Yeah. My pleasure. My pleasure. Oh, well done. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Sylvia, did I answer your body tapping question well?
Yes, thank you. I knew there had to be more to it than me, like you, thinking, oh, here we go, let's get this done with. Then I can get onto the Ki Gong, but of course I had it back to front as usual. Yeah, I like the heart energy one. You can feel it with the hands, but then I can't find any heartbeat on my chest. I don't know. I'll have to find another point somewhere where I can.
It's got to be in there somewhere.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day it will start popping out.
I find sometimes if you try and feel something or hear something, you almost block it, and if you just let go, it comes sometimes. If you do try it that way round, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I find it all just really good stuff. I was at a little story at the chronic pain. This is the tapping thing again. Chronic pain class the other day. Thank God they're nearly finished. But God, they could so do with Ki Gong, that class. The physio does a bit of Tai Chi, but anyway. And I started to get a headache because I've lifelong migraines, and I thought, oh, sod this, because they say do whatever you want to do, so that you're comfortable. So then the nausea starts to come, so I thought I'm going to start tapping. I can do that quietly without anyone observing me. I didn't quite have the nerve to do the crown as well, and it worked. It just worked. So yeah, that was quite a revelation, that obviously there must be knotty energy there or something.
Blockages, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, little things come to light now and again from what we do. And so.
Yes. But a more discreet way of getting rid of headaches is to push that acupressure point in between your index finger and your thumb, rather than tapping. Well, you can tap, but some people think you're a bit weird for doing it. What are they doing at the end?
Yeah.
Not that I worry about that at all anymore. I used to, but I don't worry about that at all anymore. So you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, that's really good for headaches. And tapping like that in between the index finger and the thumb. There is actually in the Dream Method now, just put a load of those tapping things in, I think. Or no, in the Bright Beings Academy, lots of hand tapping things that you can use for stimulating acupressure points on your hands, because your hands are much like your feet. They call it reflexology on your feet, but it's the same as the hands. You can start to alleviate things, and it's incredible what you can do with it. Incredible.
And Sylvia, if you press, I don't know whether you've done this one, have you? You start there, and you just press your fingers on your eyebrow, and it actually helps release headaches.
Oh,
Four fingers, not 5. I was doing 5, but just sort of there. And sometimes it can really hurt, but if you do it enough, it's almost like they're pressure points of the head. I don't know whether they are or not, but it works sometimes.
and they are sensitive in there, aren't they? But
so you just doing that along there,
Yep.
even if you use one finger, it might help you.
I'll have to start going like this soon. Walking down the road.
Everywhere, yeah. Guy, are you there? Guy, are you still there? Has he gone? He's gone to make a cup of tea. Oh, here he is.
Yeah. Hello.
Muted.
He's doing a mime. This is mime.
He's unmuted, so I don't.
Have to guess what he says.
Sorry?
Have to guess what he says.
Gone all together. Oh no, there you are.
He's doing a mime. Can't hear you, Guy. Can't hear you.
He must have the audio switched off, have you, Guy?
He's unmuted himself.
Yeah, you're unmuted. You need to unmute the audio on the machine.
Oh.
Sometimes the audio can have a thing across it.
Who else is there? Got to move on with somebody. Fiona. Nikki.
Oh.
Yeah, can hear you.
Oh. Yeah, it was good.
Did you feel anything?
Just the tingling, but I find it's better when you've done all the tapping, and you know, when you do the whole class and the routine, that end bit, I do notice it more then.
Yeah.
But I haven't been well this week, so I could be a bit not quite full strength anyway.
Oh dear. You okay now? You okay now?
Getting there, I think. I mean, I want to come tomorrow night, but I don't know. I seem to develop this kidney problem, and tapping the Danjon last week, I don't think would have been a very good idea.
You got a kidney problem?
Yeah, well, I've just found that out. I had terrible sickness and diarrhea, and they've told me I've got this kidney injury, which came as a bit of a surprise. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a week. And I just felt different. Well, I haven't sort of actually tapped now for nearly a fortnight, because I didn't go to last week's class, and just feel a bit grotty in general, I think. But
yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
no, it's taken me a bit by surprise. I wasn't, you know.
What I suggest is to sit there and do as much deep breathing as you possibly can.
All right.
Just do deep breathing. If you've got the access to box breathing or anything like that, just do as much deep breathing as you possibly can, and really just try and get yourself in a very still state so that your body can start to heal itself. So you really need to let your body just do its work when you're not feeling good, and focus on flushing the energy out. You know, we do that guided meditation sometimes where you feel like the energy is coming out of your fingertips and the toes, all that heavy energy. Do that as well while you're deep breathing. Just imagine filling yourself up with golden energy and the old heaviness coming out of your fingertips and your toes. And rather than tapping your kidneys, massage them and place your hands on them so they get warm. So that'll push the water up, the water energy up, and you want to get the fire energy down into your lower danjon. So placing your hands on your kidneys will help as well. But yeah, it's focusing on yourself and really slow yourself down. Just
it's
breathe.
horrible sort of way. It's like even like irregular heartbeat feeling. It's been just really weird, really just off all week.
You got a regular heartbeat.
That's how it just felt. Like your whole body just completely felt out of sync. I was so ill last Tuesday when the weather was really hot, and well, I ended up, long story, I ended up in hospital even, and that put me on a drip, and it sort of thrown my whole body out of sync. It's just sort of left you feeling absolutely drained. And they've just told me I've just got to keep drinking water, obviously.
You weren't drinking enough water, Nikki.
Well, I don't know, because with the weather, it was so hot. I seemed to be drinking endlessly, but I just felt I didn't feel good. It's not like I was even sitting in the sun, whether it was just the heat. I just really don't know. It just
Very hot.
And I was dreadfully, all my stomach went, and I was just in a terrible mess, and I was just really ill for hours and hours and hours. And in the end, I was in this state of confusion. And in the end, they took me into hospital because I couldn't keep anything down. So they had to sort of try and get some hydrate me again. So that's put me on a drip. It was the only way, because I just couldn't stop being sick. I've never experienced anything like it ever in my life.
Oh, that's strange.
It was really weird, but it's just left me feeling really
weak
all week, you know. You think, oh, so
Deep breathing. Do some deep breathing. And really, honestly, just try and do that as much as you can. I remember when the lockdowns first came, I was struck down by something I'd never had before. I don't know if it was COVID or not. I really got no idea, but I nearly died. You know, I was on my back for about 2 weeks, and the only thing that I feel that got me through was just sitting there focusing on my breathing, literally all day and all evening, just focusing on my breathing deeply, breathing deeply. And it made me feel better, and I had spurts of energy that came through. But it's the most important thing is your breath, the oxygen, the oxygenization of getting that into your body, really important. So try and do that as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nikki.
There's also oxygen, obviously, in water, Nikki. And this heat really knocked certain people for six, and I felt ill on Tuesday from the heat. So if you could just drink more water, that would help as well.
We're just not used to it, are we, in this country?
No, well, it was, don't forget, it was above. Where do you live?
Chessington.
Yes, well, it was very hot around there, and it was 40 degrees here, and that's 3 degrees. 3 degrees above our body temperature. So of course our body's going to suffer. So, that may help you to realise it's not all what you're going through; it's the heat as well.
Yeah, I think it must have been just, and they said like it was like gastric. It might have been a bit of a bug or something. Plus the heat, it was a bit of of everything. Maybe I don't know. It just sort of just all came to.
And it does play around with your head. I was thinking, because older people have urine infections, and people think they're having a stroke, but it's urine infection that's creating the brain problem sometimes. So, it sounds as if it's all connected, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, that's what they thought when I went in. They said, that's the first thing they thought of, but it wasn't that, so it's a process of elimination. So rather a long night from 2 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock the next day.
Oh dear.
But I get there.
Are feeling a bit better now anyway?
Yeah, loads compared to what I was this time last week, let's put it like that. So
that's good, as long as you feel you're beginning to repair, something's changing, so that's good.
Yeah, I suppose it's just me, I'm just impatient. I'm not a good patient, should we say?
Patience is difficult. Anybody else got anything that they want to throw in?
Are we ever? Oh, sorry. Have you come in, Guy?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Technology, don't you hate it? Yeah, swap to the tablet now. No, I was trying to ask, is with the energy in the hands thing, how I've been sort of experimenting a lot with sort of various sort of healing frequencies and lots of tuning. I think I sent you one of the clips of one of the many things I've been doing and looking into sort of tuning forks and stuff. How have you experienced, or how has anybody else experienced, let's say, the increase? But personally, I've experienced quite an increase in the frequencies of, certainly in the energy through my hands, having done those sort of things with that sound bathing and sound washing at the same time. It's helped a lot with a lot of meditations.
Yeah, I've just put a mini course up with the solfeggio tones. We've been using the solfeggio tones in the bedroom, experimenting with them. We've got an hour's 741 hertz frequency, which is for expressions and solutions, and it helps with EMF exposure and things like that. So we do that a lot. I got into sound healing through tuning forks, and I found when people's chakras are either overstimulated or understimulated, it actually affected the tuning fork. So it go if it was under, or as you're waving the fork over it. And that's really what got me into this completely, because I realized that the chakras were there because I was using the tuning forks over the particular chakra, and it was interacting with the tuning fork. And I was just knocked out by that. And I think it was one girl who came for a session, and I was using Tibetan bowls above her head and moving this up and down above her head. And the thing nearly shook out of my hand. She had so much energy coming out of her crown chakra. I just thought, this is incredible. So I think frequencies are really, really important. I would beware of binaural beats, because some people don't know what they're doing when they actually put them up. The binaural beats shouldn't be two opposite beats. They should be the two beats in either ears. So that's that to retrain your brain. But you can do that just with frequencies. You can do that. Like in what I've done with the solfeggio tones, I put all 9 solfeggio tones in the one layer, and then you put the solfeggio tone you want to be the most prominent just a little bit above it. And it's actually, I'll just put it as a bonus module on the dream method as well, is you can get that healing from that. It's incredible, and it does lift your vibration. It really does. And I can't say enough about sound healing, which is why I put it towards the end of the dream method, is because I feel once you've cleared all of this stuff up and you start to get into the sound, it's so much deeper, so much deeper. I didn't get into sound healing before I did Ki Gong before doing sound healing properly. And then when I mix the two together, it's just such a powerful way of getting there. So yeah, I agree with you guys. Top man. That's really powerful stuff.
Has anybody else had any experience with that kind of meditation and healing, self-healing?
What, with the toning, you mean?
Yeah, with using specific frequency sounds rather. I mean, obviously there's sort of meditation music and natural music and that background sort of cellos, flutes, and sin drums and stuff like that. And but it's very specific frequencies is that Peter's talking about.
Well, the dream.
Oh, go on. No.
Sorry, the dream maker meditations are very powerful at the end of the dream maker. Are you doing that as well, Guy?
Not yet, no.
No, I strongly recommend it, because when I did the first, no, not the first meditation, I think it was about the third one, I can't remember. I'm going to do them again because they're very powerful. I woke in the night and I got all the only the 7 chakras. I mean, there's 12 now we're supposed to be working on right now, for everybody's sake. But I got the 7, and I got every colour this was in the night, it was like a lucid dream, every colour, and they were all sparkling. And that has to be from that meditation, because I hadn't had that before, you know, like that. So yeah, it's very powerful. So
There you
I
go.
strongly recommend you do the course. It's very good.
The toning is, to me, it's the best for resonance with your chakras. It's the best for resonance. Is really, to me, is incredible, because when I do it, I just feel, I don't know, invincible. It's a really weird feeling that you feel. And yeah, I remember the first time I saw, like you did, the first time I saw all the colors of the chakras as I was going up them, and I feel each one of them vibrating as well, not just in my body, but just outside of my body. And then the feeling of being so cleansed at the end of it is like, oh my goodness, why can't I feel like this all the time? This feels wonderful. And then of course you go back into the material world. But to me, that's what I feel this is. What we're doing is bringing that higher energy down into this material plane. That's what we're doing as human beings. And that's why we're here in this present time, because it's a mess, and we're bringing that energy down into this. And I want to do them. I want to do them as sessions on Zoom. They're not so good as being in the room together, but I'm sure we could get a lovely vibe going doing them together on these calls.
I think we could on the Zoom here do it all together, because that's quite powerful. Weird things, I can assure you, there's weird things going on when you've got groups on Zoom now. Very good. It's mind-blowing, yes.
Amazing.
Message, yeah, I can't tell you really, because it's a group I belong to, but it's, yeah. I'm not surprised, because they're communicating with us all the time. You know, it's like you're getting messages in different forms now. So
we're being bombarded with love. We're being bombarded with love.
We are, because there's so much going on now with the changing of the world. And you've got the people, I don't know whether anybody else found this, but some days you get aggression for no reason. and you know, somebody said, you know, well, you know, they attack the light, and I thought, well, yes, I know that, but I don't need it. Yeah, that's why sometimes you don't understand what's the matter with people around you, because you're okay, but they can't handle your energy. So, and everybody doing this is probably just growing as well. So
yeah, that's very true. It is. And I think people do, especially if you're highly sensitive, that people do seem to think you're attackable for some reason.
And also this fear going on. If you're fearful, you know, you can't cope with anybody who's not, almost. So, you know, and that's when it happens. If they're fearful of themselves and everything around them, that's, well, it's pointless.
Was it Martin Luther King, wasn't it? The only thing, was it Martin Luther King? Or
yes.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's so true. So true.
And it was Mandela who had the verse about shining the light and allowing your light to shine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what we're here to do. I think we're here to come and shine, come to shine. Each individual, as I say, we're all stars of our own show. There's no reason why we should be bit parts in other people's starring show, you know, for their show, as it were. I think it's really important. I could finish with a song if you want me to. Anybody want to hear a song?
Oh, I thought you meant you were going to sing it.
Yeah, I'll sing a song.
Before your song, Peter, can I just ask, is it ever likely to be possible in the future that we all get together for afternoon tea physically rather than Zooming? Are we headed in that direction?
Who wants to go to Avebury Rings?
Where?
Avebury Rings.
Definitely.
Stone Circle. Salisbury. It's about an hour away from here.
I have to take a flask though, Sylvia.
There's a tea shop there.
Is there? Well, there wasn't. Is there really?
Yeah, I'm sure there is now. Yeah. Anybody want to go there?
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Three of us.
That'd be 4 or 5, 6, 7, maybe. Yeah, let's go to AB rings for Saturday afternoon, Ki Gong session and meditation and cup of tea and a chat.
I will take a private jet though. It's fine. Too far.
Long way for a
Unfortunately.
cup of tea, Peter. It's probably somewhere a little nearer.
Where are you, Nat?
Sorry?
Natalie, where are you?
I am in Inverness on the very top of the mountain. Oh, the island. Yeah. So, I mean, I will love to come. Like, if we plan something, I will obviously, of course, will come down to see you all. But it just has to be planned for me, unfortunately. So I will listen to how it was next time when you see.
Natalie, we can make it happen. There's always a bed here with me. And you can get cheap train fares. So if you need a couple of nights away,
Perfect.
you can sleep in the office here and talk to Peter all night or whatever. Do a Qigong together in the mornings. Great.
You're awesome. Yeah.
Don't limit yourself.
Good dream.
Right, so, your song.
I want to do weekend retreats as well. So I'm going to do that. All right. Well, I'll wrap this meeting up then, and then I'll stop recording, and then